This is Paddock 43, the podcast, your weekly rundown giving you all things F1 from both on and off the track.
From races, trades, rumours, the lifestyle, and all the things that come with the F1 world.
We are Amy, Elle, and Pat. Let's get into it.
We're back in your ear holes.
In your ear holes.
In your ear holes.
Jesus. This kind of sounds a bit rogue.
A bit
at the same
rogue.
time as air hole. No, air holes.
Ear holes.
Oh my
We're
Lord.
back,
It
yeah.
is late. It is 8:30 on a Monday night. We have had no
Late
race,
for
but
us.
for some reason we are tired. Yeah, usually we're out of here by 8:30.
Yeah, no race this weekend, but we have a very exciting race coming up this weekend. And do you know what? I'm kind of like, I'm thankful that there was no race because there was so much happening in the F1 world.
I'm sorry. That was so much.
I feel still just shell-shocked with what we went through this last week.
Well,
Also, thank you for all the people who were throwing those grenades and for not doing it in the middle of a race weekend because I don't think we would have been able to keep up and this would have been a 2-hour episode.
well, it started with a rumor about Kimi Antonelli.
Yes, Kimi
That
Antonelli.
He was going to go to Haas by mid-season and take Nico's seat.
Well, they said by Imola.
Imola, that was right. Yes,
Yes.
it was by Imola. Yes.
But then I did some research. So Imola's in May, but Kimi is still 17, so he's not old enough to qualify for a super
no,
license.
he wasn't. Yeah, they're going to have to get him some. But I think his birthday's in
Clause.
June, so there was going to go
August.
be some. Oh, is it August? Wow,
August.
you really did do your research. Go,
Yep.
you. Very, very
25th of August to be precise.
There you go. Yeah, I think they were going to do some sort of like, they were talking about there was a loophole to get around getting his F1 super license. And if you don't know what an F1 super license is, we do have a mini on that.
We do.
It's linked in the show notes. You can listen to that one.
Well, because the minimum age is 18, and that minimum age was set after Max Verstappen's debut in 2015.
Yeah, because he was 17, wasn't he?
I actually think he was 16.
Yeah, he was young. And then they had to,
The Max law,
the Max effect.
Max effect.
Literally. But yeah, so obviously Kimi Antonelli, this rumor comes out that he's going to take Nico's seat and everyone's like, what the hell? No. And then people are like,
And
oh,
then the clock started
imagine
ticking.
Nico at Audi.
But don't you remember I said this last week? That
did.
that rumor had kind of poofed in the air.
Well, 10 hours later, we find out that Hülkenberg is literally becoming the Hulk and is going
No,
in
well, it
green.
was like Hulkenberg is out. He's leaving Haas.
Oh, and then 2 minutes later.
2 minutes later, we see the green lantern
He's
pop
now
up.
going to stake. Yeah,
Yes.
so he's literally turning into the Hulk.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Hülkenberg, the Hulk.
Hulk.
I kind of love it. Like he's going back to Sauber,
Yeah.
which was Force India and Sauber between 2012 and 2016. So he's heading back into the world of Sauber.
And then 2026.
Yep.
Audi.
Now Nico hasn't had a podium before. He holds the most drives for no podium.
And I feel like I'm excited for him because I feel like he has so much potential and he kind of gets overlooked because he drives for Haas. And, you know, there's a lot of race weekends where we're like, yay, Haas did well. It's not really Haas doing well. It's Nico.
Nico Hülkenberg.
Like he's scored.
He sits in
yeah.
midfields. I know Tom at
Yeah.
home always goes, but what about Nico? Did you
Yeah.
not see him at the Melbourne Grand Prix? All this sort of stuff. So
Yeah, he
But-
does well.
yeah, so he's sitting on the ladder at the moment in Thai Grand Prix without a win, without a podium.
Oh my God, it's almost as bad as Lando.
With Andrea de Cesare. I just butchered that name. I'm so bad. But they're both sitting at 208, and that's of China Grand Prix. So Miami, obviously, unless a miracle happens this
He
weekend,
won't be getting a podium in a Haas.
he is officially taking that number one spot. And fun fact, do you know other people in this top 10 list of Grand Prix without a win?
Oh, go on.
So we have Nico, but then we have Andre, then we have Nick Heidfeld, Romain Grosjean,
Oh, Homer.
Kevin Magnussen, which kind of expect,
Yeah.
Martin Brundle.
Oh, your good friend Martin.
Loved Martin. That's a story for another day. That came out really bad. It was just a really embarrassing situation for myself that I still cringe over months later. Lance Stroll, No surprise there. Derek Warwick, Jean-Pierre Jarry, and Eddie Cheveux.
Nice.
Yeah. So, yeah, top 10 of Grand Prix without a win. It's quite the stat to have.
It's a bit of a shameful list.
Yep. I mean, he's claiming that sole pole position there. So
Well,
he's
Hulkenberg.
got it. Hey.
Yeah. Hulkenberg, if with your upcoming swap, maybe you'll be off that list. I don't know. Maybe not.
Well, now the conversation is open of what's happening with Valtteri Bottas and Joe Guan Yu.
Yeah. Who's getting the boot?
Personally, I think it's going to be Joe.
Mm-hmm.
But then I don't know if you saw this because you don't follow cycling, but Valtteri Bottas came sixth in a cycling race on the weekend,
Right.
and he's now qualified for the World Gravel Champs.
Oh my gosh. Well done,
So-
Valtteri.
Is he going to have a full career change?
I know. I was sort of thinking about the Joe and Valtteri, who's going. It obviously makes more sense for Joe to get the boot. But again, and we kind of skimmed over this last week. Obviously seeing Joe in China, it was really beautiful, really emotional. And a lot of people were saying, like, was it that emotional because it was potentially going to be his last race? And this sort of comes back to the whole point of like how much money he brings in. And, you know, he brings in a lot of sponsorship with money. So does it come down to like the better racer in Valtteri or the money in Joe? And it could go both ways. And then part of me thinks either Valtteri is out and he retires from the sport and takes up cycling, which I wouldn't put it past him.
And he's also got so many hands, like fingers in
And so many pies, yeah.
that I think he's going to be okay.
He would be beyond fine. But then also it would be lovely to see him in a higher performing car, but maybe he's like, nah, I'm kind of done with that. I had my time at Mercedes. I'm here now and I'm ready to go.
Someone suggested that he could go to Red Bull.
Ooh.
I was like, that's a big call. but
That's
I was
a
like-
big call.
I was
Yeah.
like, could be interesting.
Could be
But
interesting.
I think the career change might be up. I mean, it also
Yeah.
poses the question now. Everyone's definitely chatting about Lance Stroll, particularly after his little outburst with Daniel Ricciardo at the Chinese Grand Prix.
Yeah.
There's a lot of as long as quote. Actually, I'm going to read a couple of what our
Please.
audience was saying. So
Please do.
we put it out on our Instagram. We get quite interactive with our community
We
on there.
do.
Please join in on any of the conversations because some of the crap that you guys write in is
So good.
so freaking funny. I'm sitting there and I'm like, I can't even post that.
Yeah.
I just have to respond to it individually. So there is so much that you guys do not see because I'm just like,
It's inappropriate.
it's so bad. So a lot of people, general message was hopefully moving, as in Lance, into endurance or another form of racing. He's had his time in F1. So a lot of people suggesting like Le Mans or IndyCar or something like that. Daytona 500, all of that sort of stuff. Then Daddy loves him too much. Daddy bought him a hockey team so he could try his luck there. Daddy will just buy him another team as long as Daddy pays the bills. And yes, people are writing Daddy. It's not Dad.
Yeah. It's not me.
Yes, I feel like his seat is fixed because of the family connection. What future? Buy straight to endurance racing or IndyCar. As long as Daddy is there, he ain't leaving. Daddy pays the bills. Like the Carlos and Hulk combo just doesn't feel right. I don't know. Oh wait, no, hang on. That was on a different comment on
Yeah.
something section. But yeah, it just keeps going on and on.
Yeah. Oh, all the hate that Lance gets.
Yes, but I think the bigger news.
Well, yeah, the biggest news. But I think
The biggest unconfirmed news.
the biggest unconfirmed news, Adrian Newey.
Adrian Newey.
Is he in or is he out?
So it's been rumoured for some time now that anyone
Gosh,
that-
how long have we been hearing these
I know.
rumors for? But
Okay.
I love when they really bubble over. It's like the pot is just bubbling, but it's about to boil over.
Exactly. So if anyone needs to know a little bit about Adrian Newey, who is he, Pat? How would you describe the great man?
The great man. So he is the chief technical officer of Red Bull Racing Team, and he's been there since 2006.
Yes.
So he is basically the brains and the person in charge of creating that rocket ship.
He's created a lot of rocket ships.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that success that we've seen in Red Bull, it's kind of attributed to him.
It's some crazy stat that he's had something like a 95% success rate in all
Yeah.
the cars that he's been involved with, which is just phenomenal. So wherever this man goes, it's going to make a massive impact on this team.
Well, they say sorry to interrupt, but they say he's regarded as one of the greatest engineers of Formula One history. And his designs have won numerous titles, more than 200 Grand Prix.
Yeah, I think he's actually up there competing with Aldo Costa, who was an Italian engineer, and he was chief technical officer as well. He won 14 Constructors' Championships. I think Adrian has been part of 13.
Yes.
Yes. So he's just sitting behind Aldo. But it's pretty phenomenal that these men, we don't actually hear a lot about them, but they make so much impact
Oh, gosh.
on the team. So it's been confirmed, it was confirmed mid last year, that Adrian signed a contract until 2025. That since all the Christian Horner drama started this year, that he was unhappy with the management of Red Bull. And there were some tensions flying. Then the rumours started flying that he was going to go to Ferrari. Then people
And
were
last
saying,
week when you were like,
he's in Modena.
Yeah.
Is it Modena? Modena? How do I pronounce it?
Modena.
Modena. That what Pat said.
Yeah.
That
Hanging out near
Yeah.
Maranello.
yeah, that he's just, we're gonna.
I was like, no, he's just eating pasta.
I know you were.
You're like,
But
no.
the rumor was that started that as well was that he was going to go with Lewis Hamilton and they were going to be the dream team in Ferrari. And it was just, it's very good to hear. Like you'd think of that. But here's the clause. Adrian Newey apparently has a clause in his contract.
Yeah.
He has to do 12 months of gardening leave.
Non-compete.
Non-compete. So that means that he wouldn't work next year.
But so these are the rumors. Well, we'll get into the rumors, but it's like, is he going to take a year off? Is he going to retire? He's 65. He can definitely go and retire. I'm sure he has all the money in the world that he can go and retire.
And he actually comes from money as well. So
Yeah.
It's not well bad off.
Doesn't need it. Or I'm like, why would we put to waste? I mean, look, Adrian, if you're listening, if you want to retire, go for it, my friend. But please don't waste those amazing brains. We need them. And we want to see them somewhere else, not at Red Bull.
I want to see him at Ferrari. Put a poll out there on Instagram again. And most people said Ferrari. But then Aston Martin was thrown in the works.
Yeah. So I have
Daddy Stroll.
Daddy
is
Stroll.
throwing money at Adrian Newey, but he doesn't need the money.
No, he doesn't need the money. He's going to do whatever he wants. And I mean, it's pretty interesting though, because once, look, the rumors are flying whether he's going to leave or he's not going to leave, but it's going to be a snowball effect because they think there will be a mass exodus of engineering talent if he leaves. So, and I wonder, like, if that does happen, what's going to happen? Everyone's going to be like, well, he's left. There's obviously more to this Christian Horner drama. We want to know what's happening. Then does Christian Horner get the boot
If he
too?
leaves, I think it's going to cement that Christian Horner drama a little bit further.
To be honest, it already has.
But then, I mean, we still don't know if Adrian's actually leaving. But like I've always said, where there's smoke, there's fire. And this will impact Max for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. But yeah, the sparkles are going to be flying around Miami this weekend. That's where we're going to see it all unfold. I mean, it was touch and go there for a second. I was like, wait, hang on, Miami's this weekend. Yeah. All this is going to go down. People are going to be watching. Then I was like, wait, Lando, did you break your nose?
Wait, sorry. Sorry. Before we touch on Lando's nose, can I talk about my theory, please?
Yes.
Adrian Newey theory. So, very similar to yours. And look, obviously I really want him to go to Ferrari and that dynamic duo of getting him and Lewis Hamilton. Now, you sent me a lovely video this week of Scuderia Ferrari's name change. Scuderia Ferrari HP.
Oh, yes. I completely forgot about this.
So Hewlett-Packard has become a main sponsor of...
A naming sponsor. That's huge to add to Ferrari's name.
Yeah, so now we see this we'll touch on the name, but even their race suits, they're beautiful, red, classic, and then we just see this giant HP just smacked on the front.
It's a lot.
It's a lot, right? I'm like, ugh, gross. And they've changed the name. I mean, their Instagram already says Scuderia Ferrari HP. Well, ugh, gross. I'm like, is this, have they done this just so they can afford Adrian Newey? Which if it is, I accept. Because everyone's saying like, oh, it's just so they can afford Lewis Hamilton, but maybe it's so they can afford Lewis Hamilton and Adrian Newey.
I think it's so they can afford both. I completely forgot that we were
talking about
the series. There was just so much going on. Yes, I actually completely think that it is both. Yeah. And it's such an interesting one as well because it's an iconic brand and you're adding in a new naming sponsor like HP.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's a lot of money being thrown around.
A lot of money. But I think Adrian Newey is priceless. Getting him on your team is priceless. Like he could change any of the teams.
Yeah, that's why it would be so iconic, him, Lewis and Ferrari.
Oh my God, I'd love it.
It'd be dominating. And I just watched
World
on the
domination
weekend Ford vs Ferrari.
Oh, great film.
Which if anyone hasn't watched it, it's about Ford vs Ferrari, but in the Le Mans race in 1960, I think it was. It's a great film. Very, very good.
Very
and
well
just
done.
sort of, again, reiterates Ferrari's wanting to move into racing.
Yeah.
And how, like, strong and passionate they were. And then also, if you've seen the recent Ferrari movie, there's a lot of good references in there to understand that more. So, anyway, sidetrack.
But
yeah,
watch your space.
Watch the space. Ferrari's changing their names. They're poaching Adrian Newey. They're all serious business talk. And then we've got young Lando Norris partying out for King's Weekend in the Netherlands. He's solidifying that the Dutch Grand Prix is also going to be his home race, not just Max's home
he's
race.
Like honorary Dutchman.
He's like, I'm taking this back. I was born in this town. And yeah.
Did he actually break his nose?
So I think what happened, photos were surfacing of him looking quite busted up.
He was laughing,
blood nose. He was laughing.
Maybe had a few beveraginos.
Possibly a few beveraginos. It looks like everyone has a few beveraginos on all those boats in Amsterdam that weekend.
Yeah, what a fun weekend.
And everyone was speculating that Lando broke his nose. And I was like, can he drive? I mean, I've broken my toe skiing and then I had to stuff it into a ski boot the next day. And that was hands down one of the most painful things.
Really? Ooh.
And I was like picturing that with your nose and I'm like trying to put on
a helmet.
Like that isn't
that shit's
going
compact.
to squish your nose.
Yeah.
Maybe not once you're in it, but when you're putting it on.
Yeah.
And then also the G-force on your nose.
But yeah.
But then obviously so many people were saying, yeah, but that's weak. Carlos was racing. I'm like, yeah, but he also had recovery.
Yeah, he had some time. He had, 15 days in between.
Yeah. Anyway, so it looks like Lando's just cut his
So you don't want
nose.
to be hemorrhaging, like nose, especially near the head.
Blood flow, brain,
Yeah,
G-force.
everyone's like, is he going to race? Is he not going to race? He's going to race.
He's going to race. But it was touch and go there for a second.
Yeah.
I was like, what is happening here?
Oh.
But we are back in Miami.
No, but before Miami, we got to talk about the Ferrari livery.
Oh, yes.
Well, it leads us into Miami.
It leads us into Miami. We will be seeing blue on the racetrack.
Oh.
It's very Miami. This
Oh my
blue
God,
as well.
I'm so obsessed. I'm so obsessed. Like I actually have blue nails. Was it for my baby shower or was it is it Ferrari's new livery? Who knows?
I really want the blue Ferrari merch, but
I want
think
it
you
all.
can only buy it in Miami from what I've understand, unless someone out there knows how to get it.
But if you've been living under a rock, Ferrari have done a special livery for this weekend or this upcoming weekend. And they've stepped away from their traditional red and they've picked up the blue. And it's interesting because the blue,
the blue of the HP, by the way.
Yeah.
This is for HP.
No, it's not for HP.
Isn't it?
No.
Wait, I thought it was.
No. So this blue, they call it Azzurro La Plata. It's one of Enzo Ferrari's favorite color. And traditionally, so I think it was like more or less the 60s. So the Ferrari team employees used to actually wear, so all the pit teams would actually wear blue, like the blue suits.
my God, they did too.
Yeah, they would have the
I
blue
know that
suits.
from watching Ford versus Ferrari.
Yeah, and the cars were red, and then they would have some blue detailing on the inside. So the inside, like in the body of the car, you'd always see some sort of blue. So Enzo Ferrari was keen on relaxing the color, and then at some point they obviously got rid of that. And coming into North America this weekend, they wanted to have like the blue to represent the North American racing teams. There's the Azzurro di Plata, and then I don't know if you've seen as well the cars that they've given the boys. So lucky to drive around Miami this weekend. How they're like, Carlos got the Azzurro Dino, which is the darker blue, and then Charles has the Azzurro La Plata, which is the sort of lighter blue. And I'm just so obsessed. I want them.
I love that.
Yeah, it's
that little
cute
bit of lessening.
tidbit.
I thought it was all to do with HP.
No.
I did not know that, but now that'll make sense about the blue on the pit crew, because I do remember from watching Ford vs Ferrari and Ferrari that they were wearing blue.
Yeah, so I don't know at what point they sort of got rid of the blue and just adopted the full red, which is obviously iconic, but I need one of those blue jackets.
The pit crew will be in blue this weekend.
Hopefully.
Oh.
God, I'm so
now I'm more
intrigued.
excited.
Yeah. I'm so intrigued to know how much that costs them. Like that whole exercise of, brand new uniforms for everyone. I wonder if they will surely.
A big marketing expense.
It's a big marketing expense, but hey, it's working.
I could have sworn this was to do with HP. That's very well timed. Very well timed.
Very well timed.
HP blue.
They're just going to sneakily sneak it in.
Snuck that one on. Boing in.
Stamp that HP on there. So it's something to look forward to this weekend alongside everything else.
I know. I'm so excited to see how Miami unfolds this weekend. Last year, the lead up to Miami was hilarious on social media. They were targeting influencers so incredibly hard. And there was so much backlash from the F1 community being like, you had these influencers being like, I think one was going to the Alfa Romeo garage and she couldn't pronounce Alfa Romeo and she was getting all this sort of experience and she kept saying it wrong in this whole TikTok and it amassed millions of views. Oh, no. And then it led to a great PR opportunity for Alfa Romeo because then they got to sit down with her and explain and they did all these videos and it was quite viral and funny. But there was a lot of drama around that. So I'm going to be interested too. And a lot of cosmetic brands as well. They wanted to do activations and take influencers there. So Tarte was one of them.
And then the Tarte drama.
Everyone gave Tarte backlash for trying to get involved and how now times have changed. Charlotte Tilbury is the sponsor of F1 Academy and F1 Academy will be at Miami. So it's going to be a completely different internet vibe, I think, to what was leading up to last year.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I don't think we'll see Max starting in 9th again.
No. I had forgotten about that.
I know.
I had forgotten about that horrific quali. Well, horrific for him.
Well, it was by lap 10 14. He'd climbed back up to 2nd. It's Max.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry. If you can do that from 9th.
Yeah.
That's.
I know. Yeah. Well, yeah, for those that, so basically Max started in 9th. Position and then won the Miami GP.
Typical. True driving champion. Right there, though. That's what that was.
Yep. But we saw Max win and then Checo came 2nd and Alonso came 3rd. So, yeah. And Checo had pole that weekend.
Yeah.
But Max was like,
Not this time, boo.
Not this time.
Now, predictions.
Also, side note, Logan Sargent, because he's a Florida man. He's from Miami.
Oh, yeah. I forget Logan Sargent. This is a home race for him. And he has not had a good start to the season. He's going to crash after crash every single week.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Poor thing, especially with like the rumors of him losing his seat.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he came last year. So, yeah.
Yep. Anyway, predictions, you're 1, 2, 3.
Predictions. I think like a Max Checo in a 1-2. I want to see Charles. I'm thinking Charles in that 3rd place. But in saying that, the McLarens have had an upgrade this weekend. So we might see a similar podium to last year. We might see Mr. Piastri up there.
I would love if Oscar was up there.
Yeah, what are your predictions?
I would typically say I want Oscar up there, sitting in third. I don't. Something's just not clicking with him. He's been sort
the
of
last
sitting-
few races.
Yeah, he's still. Don't get me wrong. He's still fucking performing amazingly.
Yeah.
but he's kind of sitting in that like 5th to 8th position.
Yeah.
Sort of like that high midfield. I reckon we're going to go Max, and then I'm going to say Carlos,
Oh, love
and
it.
then Oscar.
Hmm.
I reckon
Wishful thinking.
it's going to be a very colourful looking podium.
No Checo. I want to see one of those blue Ferrari suits up on the
I think I just
podium.
want to see one of the blue Ferrari suits up on the podium. I
Yeah.
think that's my biggest watch out for this weekend.
Yeah, I want to see it on the podium.
I want to see both.
Both of them on the podium. That would be great. Like a nice little blue
Yeah,
Ferrari sandwich.
Red Bull in the middle, and then the two
Ferrari.
light blues on the outside.
Like,
It's just very aesthetically pleasing.
also, I don't know if anyone has, if our listeners have seen all the memes as well of the cars,
The car references.
the Disney Pixar movie Cars, and there's that like I love Ferrari. Well, I don't know what that cartoon's name is, but they've recreated him. He's come alive.
It's so good. Hey, Patty, we're going to get out of here.
Yes.
We have been recording some very special interviews for you guys today.
Yes.
So stay tuned for them coming out in the next couple of weeks. So that's fun.
Also,
Yeah?
we can't wait for this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Also, we're going to have Amy back
Yes.
next week.
She is back in town. She just is on a flight right now. So
Yeah.
she couldn't
Amy
come
is
into-
flying. Yes. But yes, side note, Amy is flying right now.
It's her excuse for not being in today.
Yeah. But who knows? Maybe by next week, are we going to have some Adrian Newey updates?
Oh, I'm sure
Are we going to
by
have
the
some
time
Christian
this comes
Horner
out, Pat,
updates?
well, this always
Is
happens.
someone
We
else
talk
gonna
about
lose
it,
their
and
job?
it comes out, and then we're like, "Fuck!"
Yeah,
we just missed
literally.
out talking about that.
Honestly.
All right,
But yeah, thanks for listening.
don't forget to leave a review,
Like and subscribe.
like, and subscribe.
And
Okay,
keep
bye.
and keep the conversation going because we love chatting with you guys.
All right, ciao.
Bye. Ba-ba, ba-ba-ba.
I don't know what it is, but I always want to do that.
I
Like,
know, same.